They won't come to the party unless you invite them. So unless is acting as a conjunction in this sentence. Hi everyone, I'm Namita. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about conjunctions. Yes, conjunctions are the words which are used to connect words, phrases or clauses. This is one of those parts of speech which act as a connector. So if you have no idea what parts of speech is, then I'm going to link this video here where I have discussed all the parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech and I have talked about all of them. So you can go and check out that video, and then in that I have not talked about any of the part of speech in detail, but I've mentioned and just tried to brief you about what parts of speech are. So today I'm going to talk about conjunction in detail, what is conjunction, and some words that you can use as conjunctions. As I've already told you that these are the connectors. There are sometimes we have 2 incomplete sentences. So to make those 2 into one complete sentence, we need a conjunction so that it can join the 2 sentences or the phrases or the clauses and it makes sense. So this is what conjunction is. Now let's discuss the conjunctions that you can use in your daily sentences which can help you to have a correct grammar, correct usage of grammar in most of your sentences. So the very first conjunction that I'm going to talk about is because. It is the most common conjunction. You must have heard of it a lot of time. So how we actually use because? Now we use because to show a particular reason. When we are talking about the reason for something, then we use because. I'll give you an example to make it more clear to you. She usually eats at home because she likes cooking. Why she eats at home? Because she likes cooking. So there is a reason for it. So that is why because is a connector which is used to tell when we are talking about some reason. So one sentence is dependent on the other sentence because of a reason, then we use this because as a conjunction. Moving on to the second one. Now the second one is although, and although is used to talk about 2 opposite statements. It shows 2 completely opposite statements. The statements which are opposite but used to make some sense. I'll give you an example. Although she speaks less, she says meaningful words. So is it clear now how we use although? Although she speaks less, she speaks meaningful words. So this is how although is used. Moving on to the third one, which is whereas. Whereas is used to show contrast. The contrast statements, the 2 of them which are contrast statements. Let me give you an example for this one. She is very funny, whereas he is boring. So are you realizing what I said? These are 2 completely contrast statements. One of them is boring, one of them is interesting or funny. So this is how we have joined them by using whereas. So this is how we use this conjunction whereas to connect the 2 contrast statements. Now moving on to the fourth one, which is but. Now but is also a very common conjunction and we use it very often in our statements. But why we use but? We use but to join 2 ideas that are completely opposite. When 2 ideas are completely opposite, then we use but. Again, an example for this one. I am very hungry, but the fridge is empty. Are you realizing? I am hungry, the fridge is empty. Will not make any sense, but when I put a but in between the 2 sentences or the phrases, it is making a sense. Like I am very hungry, but the fridge is empty. So this is how we use but as a conjunction. The fifth one is besides. It means in addition to or also. I mean, when we use something, when we want to use also, so we can use besides in place of also as well. When we are talking about one thing in addition to rest of the things. Besides is also a preposition, so we use it as a preposition as well. Let me give you an example so that it becomes clear to you how to use besides. She speaks 3 languages besides Spanish. So she already is speaking 3 languages. It can be any 3 languages like French, German, Japanese, and she can speak Spanish as well. So she can speak 3 languages besides Spanish, which means including it or one more thing in addition to all 3 of them also is something which can replace besides, or beside can replace also. So this is how we use besides as a conjunction. Now moving on to the 6th one, which is unlike. Unlike means different from or not similar to something. When we are talking about two different situations, two unsimilar situations, there we use unlike. An example to make it clear for you will be, Jack is completely unlike his father. He is not like his father. He is different from his father, or he is not similar to his father. One more example for this. Unlike my brother, I cannot swim. Now this means that my brother can swim, but I cannot. So unlike my brother, I cannot swim. This is how we use unlike as a conjunction. Moving on to therefore. Now therefore is used to show the result or effect of an action. So when an action is dependent on the other one, somewhere it is related to the result which it is causing, then we use therefore as a conjunction. A good example will be, she came first, therefore she got a good seat in college. Are you realizing it? Because she came first, that is why, because of that, the result of which she got a good seat in the college. So this is how we use therefore as a conjunction. Now the eighth one is despite. Despite is used to introduce a fact which is in sharp contrast with another fact. For example, despite all her faults, everybody likes her. So this is how despite acts as a conjunction. It joins two different phrases which have contrast facts. So this is how it makes the sentence complete. The next one is provided. And provided means if and only if. If there is such a particular condition, we use provided. Let me give you an example to make it more clear to you. They can play music provided they disturb nobody. So is it clear now how we use provided? If there is a condition, if and only if, they can play music only if nobody is disturbed. So here we have used provided as a conjunction. You can also use it to improve your language skills. Now the 10th one is unless. It means except on that condition. So if that condition is fulfilled, only then something will happen. For example, you can't get a job unless you have experience. So this is something we all know. So till you don't have the experience, or till the time you are not experienced, you won't get a job. So we have put unless here when it is not going to work except a particular condition. So this is how we use unless, and many of the learners have confusion in using unless. The next one is so, and it is a very common one. It is used to show results. So is used to show results. For example, the weather is not very nice, so we will not go out for picnic today. So it is the result. Because the weather is not nice, that is why we are not going. So is used to show result, and this is how we use so as a conjunction. The next one is if, and if is used to show condition. You all know it already that if is when we talk about a particular condition. For example, let me know if you go to the market. So if you are going to the market, let me know. So this is actually about a condition, and it is a very common one, and no one generally makes a mistake while using if. Moving on to the last one now. Since, and since is used to show the result. For example, since she was tired, she took some rest. If you want to know about since in detail, then I have a separate video where I am trying to clear the difference between since and for, where to use since and for when we talk about the context of time. So I'm going to link that video here where I have given the detailed information about since and for. You can go watch that video and increase your knowledge. And now I'm going to end this video on conjunctions. I hope this video was helpful to you. You are able to learn some new conjunctions, and you'll be able to use more conjunctions in your sentences where you know that these two sentences are not making any sense, and you can make them into a complete sentence by using conjunctions. If you still have any doubts, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm going to see you in my next one. Take care of yourself, keep practicing your English, and keep improving your skills. Bye-bye.